कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरधरधारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरधरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसाई गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसाई गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे जय गंधर्विकागिरिधारी गौर जय गंधर्विका गिरिधारी गौर जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय आनंद पदे लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय आनंद पदे जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय आनंद पदे लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय आनंद पदे जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभु जय प्रभु पद जय प्रभु पद। नाम संकीर्तन की जय। So today we are going to speak on verse number 63 of chapter number 2. So क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहत् स्मृति विभ्रम स्मृति भ्रंशाद् बुद्धिनाशो बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति। Can you recite? Okay. क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहात् स्मृति विभ्रम स्मृति भ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशो बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति। Meaning, क्रोधात् from anger, bhavati takes place, sammoha perfect illusion, sammohat from illusion, smriti of memory, vibhrama bewilderment, smriti bhramshat after bewilderment of memory, buddhi nasa loss of intelligence, buddhi nasat and from loss of intelligence, pranashyati once fall down. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Jai Prabhupada. From anger, complete delusion arises, and from delusion, bewilderment of memory. When memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost, and when intelligence is lost, one falls down again into the material pool. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Rupa Goswami has given us this direction. Papanna chikita buddhaya hari sambandhi vastuna mumukshubi pratiyago vairagyam phalu khatyate. By development of Krishna consciousness, one can know that everything has its use in the service of the Lord. Those who are without knowledge of Krishna consciousness artificially try to avoid material objects, and as a result, although they desire liberation from material bondage, they do not attain to the perfect stage of renunciation. Their so-called renunciation is called falgu, or less important. On the other hand, a person in Krishna consciousness knows how to use everything in the service of the Lord. Therefore, he does not become a victim of material consciousnness. For example, for an impersonalist, the Lord or the Absolute, being impersonal, cannot eat, whereas an impersonalist tries to avoid good eatable. The devotee knows that Krishna is the supreme enjoyer and that he eats all that is offered to him in devotion. So after offering good eatable to the Lord, devotees takes the remnants called prasadam. Thus, everything becomes spiritualized and there is no danger of downfall. The devotee takes prasadam in Krishna consciousness, whereas the non-devotee rejects it as material. The impersonalist therefore cannot enjoy life due to his artificial renunciation, and for this reason a slight agitation of mind pulls him down again into the pool of material existence. It is said, such a soul, even though rising up to the point of liberation, falls down again due to his not having support in devotional service. We will chant Mangalacharya. Om Ajnanatmimandasya Jnananjana Chalakya Chakshurindritam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurue Namah. Now we will sing Srila Prabhupada Praniti. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pisthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine. We will sing Panchatattva Mahamantra. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Siva Shadi Gaur Bhaktivinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So as we are saying, we are starting with this Bhagavad Gita 2.63, where it is told Krodhat Bhavati Sammoha, means from Krodh arises Sammoha, means attraction, attachment. And then Sammohat Smriti Vimprama. Smriti means the knowledge, Buddhi, knowledge, that is gone. And from Smriti Brahmsad Buddhi Naso. From Smriti your Buddhi is destroyed. And Buddhi Nasat Pranasyati. From Buddhi Nasat the person falls down. What is falls down actually? Falls down as per Sripad Ramanujacharya actually gives a step by step for the falls down. That is contemplation. First a person actually contemplate in the mind. Okay, I like this thing actually. This particular object I really like. I want that object. Then there is an attachment arises. One starts seeing that as an attachment. I should get it. I should somehow, and we start hankering about each of that object. And then a desire arises with attachment. No, I should do something. They will try to do something. And if he doesn't get that, and then frustration arises. That is anger. Why I didn't got this? I was actually behind this particular thing and I didn't got. And from anger a delusion arises. Delusion means person is unable to actually discriminate what is wrong and what is right. So they start making some bad decisions over there. And because of which, of delusion, their memory is totally failure of memory happens. And once the failure of memory happens, the buddhi is lost. Loss of buddhi means a determination. It is called a good person is that who is having a good determination of doing the things. Suppose I want to achieve something good. You should have a proper determination. Like if you want to do something good for a society or even for devotional service or even for anything, if you want, you need a certain determination. Without determination, you cannot achieve that thing. So similarly, especially in spiritual life, when you are actually not determined, you are not thinking that okay, I need to do something for Krishna or Prabhupada, then what will happen? You will not feel that enjoyment, enthusiasm will not be there. So with these kind of contemplation, then attachment, desire and anger, what will happen? Your memory is lost. And because of memory loss, the loss of determination happens. Loss of determination means person is not able to understand what exactly is happening in his life. One is not able to discriminate, okay, this I need to do, this I need not to do. And once that determination is lost, person is fallen into the material enjoyment. Now what is material enjoyment? Sinking in the ocean of mind. It is called the worst fall down is going to the lower species. Lower species means today you are in a human form of life. Tomorrow, if you because of some of these material enjoyment and other things, your consciousness is already bewildered. So you will be actually not be able to discriminate between right and wrong, and your whole way of living has been destroyed. So what will happen? You will not be able to judge, okay, what exactly I need to do. And then at the end of your life, your thought process will not be at higher consciousness. Your consciousness will be low for the lower species. So you will be awarded for the lower species. So that is called as a sinking in the ocean of material enjoyment. Because for animal, the very common things are only eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. So they will be only looking into that actually. So the sinking into the material enjoyment means one is actually going into the animal species actually. So that is the actual meaning of the fall down. So Sripad Ramanujacharya very clearly explains that okay, these are the things. So that's why Acharya says that you cannot make your senses inactive, because you cannot make your eyes don't see anything. You cannot make your ears don't hear anything. You cannot make your mouth don't say anything. But you have to engage them in the Krishna's service. Nibande Krishna's Sambande means something you have to do for the in the relation of the Krishna. And when you engage your senses for the Krishna's relation, then your senses gets purified. And then you get a lot of determination to actually do the things in the right perspective. Suppose you are using your mouth to chant means mantra. You are using your mouth to eat prasadam. You are using your eyes to see Krishna and his deity form. And you are means using your ear to hear kirtan. You are using your hands to actually means help in the various activities of Krishna, means Krishna's temple, or even at your home for the Krishna's related activity. Then what happens? Your whole activity around you are centered around Krishna, and then the chance of getting those bewilderment of the senses is very less. But for Muni and yogis who are actually in the secluded place and they actually meditate, and suddenly some kind of enjoyment comes, that bewilder them. We have various examples in our Puranas and Upanishads and means Bhagavatam, like Ajamila, if you see. Ajamila was a pious Brahman. He was he was doing his ritualistic all activity properly. But one day he went to the jungle and he saw one Sudrani over there. And he was bewildered by that sight only. After seeing that sight, he was contemplating on that. Contemplating, and he thought he need to bring that Sudrani to his home. And because of that he thrown away his chaste wife and his parents and brought that Sudrani to home. And he did all kind of nasty things with her. But he had one small kid whose name he has kept it as a Narayan. And finally, at the end of the life, he was somehow he just shouted for the help of Narayan, his son, and he got the Vishnudutta came and rescued and gave him the second chance. Second chance means what? He was given another chance to at least perform his religious duties properly and uplift his consciousness. Once you uplift your consciousness, then only you can atone your problems, whatever sins you have done. If you see, there is a difference between sincere and sinful. Both start with sin. One is sincere, which is having a determination. Another is sinful. Sinful means what? One is actually doing something wrong. Correct? So similarly, he started doing those wrong things, but ultimately from his mouth it came as a Narayan to actually get the help. Vishnudutta just gave him a certain period of time again as a second chance to perform his duty. And that time he atoned all his mistakes. He went to Haridwar and performed all duties. So what exactly here is we want to tell that the step by step fall down is very, very prominent, and especially in this age of Kali, where if you go out just from here to some other street, you will see some nasty scenes actually. And to keep your consciousness at high, you need to follow certain regulative principles. And regulative principles actually help you to actually live the life of dharma. Dharma means what? Dharma means the four pillar of dharma is what? One is truthfulness, cleanliness, austerity, and compassion. If you have those four, then you are only following dharma. Means what? A simple person to become a just human, they have to follow these four principles. So if you see to that if you want to actually have proper consciousness, you need to follow these four principles. And especially in this particular verse, if you see, cleanliness and austerity is well mentioned, wherein they have described that one should actually perform austerity and means keep themselves as clean from the mind also and from the body also. So next step is how we fall down in the spiritual life. When we start at the thinking stage, we should always have a positive thinking. If we do not have positive thinking, then we will be deviate from what actually the Krishna's teaching is there. We go to the negative thinking, then all kind of negative thoughts start contemplating in our mind. Okay. Then is the next stage is what feeling stage. One develops an attachment that okay, I need to get this. Somehow I need to get this. Okay. Then is the willing stage, willing or doing stage. Even though person is told don't do this, suppose a kid is there, okay, small kid, you keep some pot of uh, sweet rice, and you tell him don't touch it, beta. Okay, but he will contemplate, keep on contemplating. Papa has kept a kheer over there. I need to taste it. Okay, and he will do all sorts of plan, but you have told don't touch it. What he will do? He will go and he will just touch it first. Okay. Outside only he will touch. He will feel more eagerness to actually now taste it. So what will be the third stage? He will willing and doing that. He will go, he will see, okay, Papa is not there. He will go, he will take one spoon. Okay. So what will happen? This guy has tasted it. Okay. So same way, the negative thoughts also comes. Person first will start thinking, okay, I need to get this, and you will start making plan that okay, this way I can get this particular wrong thing. Once you start getting, you think that okay, let me taste it. So that actually gives a person a fall down, stage of fall down. And there onwards, what exactly arises? Anger arises. Because it is the material thing cannot give you the complete happiness. It has its own limitation. If I give you a full 56 chappan bhog, can you eat it? No. Because your capacity is to eat only maybe 5 chapati, at the max 8 chapati. Not more than that. You can have, say, suppose I will say, okay, can you see continuous movie without sleeping 5 days? Can you see? No. Because your eyes will pain and you will crash actually. If I will say, okay, now can you just keep on taking cold things on your head? You can't do certain things because you have a certain limitation. You cannot do beyond that. Our sense object means our senses can actually is limited by our certain things. Like eyes can see certain wavelength only. Okay, and even your ears can hear certain wavelength, say 20 hertz to 20k hertz. Okay, so same thing. So what will happen once he is unable to fulfill his desire? So what exactly happens? A lust happens. Lust is what? Lust is to actually means wanting to hankering for something which is actually not given sanction for him. Okay. So from that what arises? Anger arises. Anger means gussa aana chalu. Because I am unable to fulfill my desire. Okay, because first of all your senses is limited and you try to get something, but You are unable to get, so your anger will definitely be aroused. Okay. And then with anger, what will happen? Your buddhi is actually delusioned. You are not able to see, okay, this is right, this is wrong. I need this, I will do whatever. Okay. If children need something, they will start throwing this tantrum, that tantrum. You are holding him, your wife is holding them, or your means family members are holding them. Don't do this, I will get you, get you. Even if you get it, he will, after few days, that toy is broken. Again, he starts crying. So same thing happens with the elders also, but in different perspective. And when that happens, the delusion happens, and then we get bewildered. Okay, what to do, what not to do, and then our whole intelligence is lost. So this is the flow chart which actually given by, I can say, Sripad Ramanujacharya with in the context of these two verses. And Srila Rupa Goswami has given a nice instruction for actually all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, and for us especially has been shown by our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada. He told very clearly what he told: Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe Yukta Vairagyam Uchyate. These two last line, if you see, is very nice sentence. This means what? Utilize everything for Krishna's service. There is something called sanctioned and something called sanctified. Now, if I tell you this is a fruits, okay, and when you offer it to Lord, what it becomes? Prasad. So, fruits are sanctioned by Lord, but when you offer it to the Lord, that becomes a sanctified. Similarly, when you have got 24 hours in your life, it is given by Lord. You can give 10 minutes for the worship of the Lord. So that becomes whole day, your becomes as a prasad from the Lord. Okay. Then suppose marriage is sanctioned. Okay. But when devotee means couples start worshipping the deities in home and worship, then whole house becomes Vaikuntha. So that becomes as a sanctified couple. Similarly, suppose you are getting a salary, you are giving a small amount to the Krishna, then whole of your salary becomes a sanctified. So everything actually has a sanctioned thing and sanctified. So that's what Rupa Goswami says, that everything can be utilized for the Krishna service. We are using TV, if you see. TV can be used for some nasty things also by the people. But we are using TV here for presenting the things. We are using mobile. Even WhatsApp we are using as a group to tell about the programs. So that is also sanctified. So one should know how to utilize the things in the Krishna service. And for that, if you do slowly, suppose you start with giving 10 minutes for the Krishna with chanting of 1 round, 2 round, then what will happen? A buddhi will be given by Krishna. He says, Dadami Buddhi Yogam. He gives that buddhi. He gives that buddhi that how to perform the various activities in the Krishna service. Then that becomes Nirbandhe Krishna Sambandhe. Means everything for the Krishna's purpose. Then what will happen? You will not be actually get delusioned by the external things. Then whole thing is sanctified for you. But if suppose you are using everything for yourself, suppose you are getting, you say you have your wife, you both will be actually suppose in the house, not doing nothing, then what will happen? The house will be not Vaikuntha, it will become a Kuntha place. Because you will be thinking that she is my object of sense enjoyment, and she will be thinking that you are the big pocket for her, nothing else. The big purse wherein I can just ATM thing, I can just take out any money. So both will be in an exploitative nature. That is called lust. Okay. So If you make your house, means suppose Krishna's worship is happening, then that becomes a Vaikuntha place. Otherwise, it is a Kunta. So that's what Rupa Goswami wants to tell from this verse. Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe Yukta Vairagyam Uchyate. Yukta Vairagyam. Yukta Vairagyam means is doing for Krishna, means doing a Vairagya in such a way that it will be in a Krishna Sambandhe and doing whatever is required, not more than that. Okay, with certain means relationship. So what we have gone through in this particular purport is that senses are naturally active. Means your senses will, you cannot make your senses don't do anything. You have to make your senses do a real engagement for the Krishna. Okay. You can utilize the means various activities. There are various activities which is around. If you do those, then what will happen? Your senses will be naturally cleansed. Then the only way to get out of this material puzzle is what? Krishna, means devoting your time for Krishna. And then if you do for any other activity, suppose you have got 24 hours in your life, if you give say means 1 or 2 round to 16 round, if you do, then what will happen? That will take only 1 to 2 hours, but rest 22 hours is for you, and you will see your consciousness is at the various other level, wherein you can actually focus on your activity very clearly and you can understand this is right, this is wrong. And negative examples are like if somebody means there are examples of demigods, powerful demigods are there, like even Brahma and Lord Shiva got bewildered by the sense objects. Okay, but that is not means I can say I'm not questioning on their means attitude, but in the process which actually even they wanted to give as an example that we are also able to get means bewildered by these particular sense objects. Many Rishi Munis you might have seen, like Vishwamitra and other Munis, they were doing a deep penance. What about us? We cannot do that kind of penance in this city. What we can do is only Krishna Bhakti. Okay. So there are positive examples also, like Haridas Thakur and Yamunacharya. Haridas Thakur was a very nice devotee who was during that pastime of Lord Chaitanya. He used to chant 192 rounds, and when he used to chant, he will be means just focusing on the names. And one day what happened, because of some villagers actually very envious of him, they sent one prostitute to allure him. So when prostitute came to allure him, he just told, let me finish my round, then I will talk to you. He was finishing, he was trying to chant 192 rounds. He told, it is not over, let me finish, then I will talk to you. Next day over. Again next day he told, let me again finish my round, then I will talk to you. Similarly, like around 4, 5 days, 6 days, like that it happened. And slowly that prostitute who was sitting in front of him, she also started chanting. She thought, what I can do over here, let me chant with him. And she also started chanting with him. And what happened, in the due course of time, her mind was cleansed. As it is told in the Sishtastakam, Cheto Darpana Marchana. Means what? Her heart was getting cleansed by the pure holy name. One was the actually darshan of the holy devotees like Haridas Thakur in front of him, in front of her, and second was the chanting of the holy name. Both was cleaning her heart, and slowly she also felt, she started getting the bhav up, and she told, after a few days Haridas Thakur told, okay, now you can tell. She told, please forgive me, I came here to actually disturb you, but now I came to know that you are really a means big Paramahansa, means Paramatma. Okay. Then he Mahatma, and she told, then Haridas Thakur told, okay, you can stay in this kutir and do bhajan. And he initiated her and he went. So this shows that, okay, if you are actually in the positive engagement of your senses, like means various acharyas, and as per whatever prescribed by the acharyas, like if you do your 16 rounds or whatever number of prescribed rounds which you have actually committed in front of Lord, if you keep on doing a regular basis, it will give you a very strength from your inner heart also, and it will help you to actually overcome any kind of allurement which is happening outside. So, what is the secret of success in terms of sense control? Get a higher taste. Higher taste means what? Get a taste of prasadam, get a taste of holy name, get a taste of hearing the Bhagavatam. So, it will help you to actually clean your heart. Then Yukta Vairagyam. Yukta Vairagyam means what? Use everything in the service of the Lord, not for anybody else. Okay. And once you use it, and then take whatever you have been given as a prasad for the your means requirement. So, and there are the means negative thing is like a dry renunciation, which is called as a Falgu Vairagya. Falgu Vairagya means if you try to actually means make your senses zero, don't do anything and do means without any doing anything. So what will happen? Your senses will crave for the things. Means मन आपकी शांति नहीं रहेगी. मन means your man will start contemplating on the things. It is told only one monkey is very calm. That is Hanumanji. Rest all monkey will be always giving you the trouble. To keep that monkey calm, you need to have a Ram Naam. Okay. If you have a Ram Naam, then only your monkey will be silent. Otherwise, your monkey will be always jumping from one tree to another tree to actually crave for some enjoyment. With this, I would like to end this. And any questions? Anything you would like to ask?
I chanted, my mind is not concentrated on this.
Yes.
How to concentrate?
What you need to do, you need to just focus on word. Okay. And suppose anything comes in your mind, anything. I am telling anything means from very negative things. Just telling, be aside. How Haridas Thakur told, be aside. Let me finish this round. Then I will address you. Suppose I am chanting, okay, and suddenly I come to know, okay, I started thinking of something like, okay, my son is asking for this thing, some biscuit, this, or some pencil box, or something, some other thing, some wrong thing also. You have to tell, okay, keep aside, let me finish this one. Then I will address you. Then once you complete that, again you tell, let me finish my round, then I should come back to you. Slowly you have to train your mind in such a way that you have to tell them that you stay aside, let me finish my round, then I will address your problem. If you do like that, if you train your mind like that, then the focus will be on holy name.
Which time is best for chanting?
It is best to chant during the Brahma Muhurat. Brahma Muhurat means starting from 4 o'clock till 6 o'clock. Okay. But you can chant in any time of your whole day. And the thing is, you should be in a very sitting position. If you are not able to sit properly, suppose, then you can at least stand. Okay. Stand within the short distance. Okay. Walk if you want to walk. Walk within the short distance. Don't walk it means too many places, because there will be too many distractions. So what we have to do is a focus on the holy name. You have to, and if anything comes in mind, just keep aside, like Haridas Thakur told. You stay aside, sit aside, and slowly you will see that particular thing will actually tell, okay, Hare Krishna to you. Any other question? ग्रंथ श्रीमद् भगवत गीता की जय।